So today is day 125 of our 1000 Dawns, and the camera angles for this literally multiply by the day. And speaking of multiplying, you may have also noticed, yeah, that's my calendar in the background, with what looks like a cross-dressing Gene Wilder literally being seduced by an evil licorice allsort. I don't know where exactly her hand's going, but she's definitely not finding the golden ticket anytime soon, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah. Now you can't stop looking at it, I know. But speaking of not looking, the 2 days I've had off work have been very long overdue, in my opinion, and also, what's the nicer way to put this? It's come and gone like that. With that being said, however, I have been a busy little bee over the last 2 days, in which it's mostly a lot of like special effects work I've been at work on because, well, I do have an extensive amount of background in doing special effects and whatnot, and video editing and and motion graphics, that sort of thing. So whilst all that is like, I spend a lot of time working on stuff like that. Time consuming it can be, but at the same time, I'm glad that I spent as much time doing it because it felt a good way to like redirect certain things in my mind. And believe you me when I say that I've got enough to deal with already. Because let me just tell you guys exactly what the itinerary looks like for the next couple of days. So from tomorrow there are only 5 days between me and my 3-day trip to London. However, those days are going to consist of, including but not limited to, the following. I have about 44 hours of work to do in those 5 days, 20 of which are literally from on both on Saturday and Sunday. 10 hours I've got to get this done. I've got to do working. And listen, here's the thing. Those 20 hours are going to come and go very, very quickly because it's easy work, really. And yeah, there's not much more to say about it. It's really easy work. And thankfully, the shifts start early enough that we won't be bombarded with things, later into the night, which is also just as handy because let me just talk you through what my shift pattern really looks like if we're really going to get down to it. On Saturday, my shift starts at 1:45 in the afternoon and finishes at 1:45 in the morning. Then on that Sunday, I would likely get home by about 1:15 in the morning, just in time for me to have about like 7 hours of sleep because my next shift that same morning is at 10:45. Is at like 10:45. So, assuming I come home and I get to sleep by about 1:30 in the morning, it means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is roughly about 7 hours of sleep, and then I'm straight back out to work again. But we also have a little bit of a problem once again because, well, what am I going to do for, let's say, lunches or anything like that? None of the shops open up until 11 o'clock in the morning. Work would have already started, so yeah, a little bit of a pickle we're involved in, but that simply means I'm just going to have to buy twice as much tomorrow, outside of all the things I've got prepared already, and we're just going to have to, play it by ear. That's really the only way we're going to get through this. And I'm pretty sure, again, from like 11, so that shift, by the way, from 11:45 in the morning, and it finishes at about 9:45 at night, which means I'll be able to have a good 10 hours of sleep, and just in time for work to begin Monday at 2:00 in the afternoon. Pretty much really starting time, if we're being honest, for what we get up to. And it's going to be like that on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, on Tuesday, I am actually gonna, start packing and stuff like that to get ready for my trip down south. And if all goes according to plan, what I'm actually gonna do is that on the Wednesday night, I am gonna pretty much get home, do work all through the night, get things done, things that I can afford to get done at night, pretty much not really get to sleep. Because the plan is that, well, get to the train station and literally have a kip on the train, and then I should arrive in London by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I will just be lucid enough to actually get out of King's Cross and make the short journey down to Hammersmith. Yeah, that seems like that sounds like a recipe for disaster. That does, but yeah, that's pretty much the all I've got to say going forwards. Never waste a moment of your day. That's the way I do it. And it also, mind you, that being said, what's likely going to happen is I will literally stay awake the entire time on the train, and well, we'll have to wait and see what happens next. Anyway, whilst all that's going on, all I have to do just to get through the next couple of days is just not think about anything too hard and just get through it. That's the only thing I've got to do, is to shut off everything else and just focus on getting through it, getting through the boulot, as they say. If I can do that, then these next couple of days are literally there will be nothing. But yeah, it's not really that hard, and to be honest, I think I've done much harder things before. So yeah, I think that should just about do it. So yeah, that's you've come to hear me say on this channel, there is work to be done. Always more work.